we solved this example in the previous video. Now I'm gonna solve another example which is just slightly more interesting. Okay, so make sure that you understand this video completely, and after that move to the next example. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm gonna write absolute value equation 2. Okay, this is like the second part. Okay, ready for a new example? Great, I'm gonna solve an example. 2 times the absolute value of x minus 3, let's close absolute value, plus 5 is equal 20. Let's solve this example. For a moment, you can come back to your previous example and look at the steps. So first step is absolute value is all by itself, right? That was the first step. So I'm just gonna copy this here. I'm pretending that I'm using my cheat sheet, okay? Imagine I give you this problem, you'll be like, holy macaroni, what I'm gonna do? No problem. Come by, look at your cheat sheet. What it says on your cheat sheet? Absolute value, it has to be all by itself. Look at this. Where is absolute value? Right here. Is the equation that between the two bars, right, is in jail. Is the absolute value by itself? Absolutely not, because we have 2 and we have plus 5 right next to them. Okay? So what we have to do, we have to get rid of these numbers. Okay? It's really important to get rid of these numbers. I made this small mistake here. I have to use 3 here. My bad, guys. Okay. 3, absolute value of x minus 3 plus 5. Okay, let's see. So we have to find absolute value by itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna subtract 5 from both sides in order to find the absolute value by itself. Okay, always we are looking for addition and subtraction. If we adding or subtracting something to the absolute value, we have to do the opposite to both sides. Okay, we're gonna subtract minus 5 and minus 5 from both sides. Now we make a beautiful line here. Now we would have 3 absolute value of x minus 3 is equal, okay, see, 5 and 5 cancel each other out, 20 minus 5. Okay, I have no idea what number is this. Okay, so let's do that. 20 minus 5 is 15. So I'm gonna write this guy here is equal 15. Good? If you're kind of confused, just pause the video, make sure that all this makes a complete sense to you, and or ask me, and after I move on. See, 20 minus 5, 15 right here, this guy and that guy cancel each other out, and whatever exists in the left side of the equation, we just wrote it down. Okay, let's move to the next subject, and next step, my bad. So, still, did we accomplish this first step? Is absolute values all by itself? Of course not. We have this nasty 3 right next to it. Check it out. I have to get rid of it. Okay, so how are we gonna get rid of it? We're just gonna use a logic. Read this loud, always to yourself. 3 absolute value of blah blah is no sign. See, is nothing written between 3 and absolute value. When it's no sign, it means multiplication. So in order to get rid of the multiplication, you have to do the division, but you have to do it to both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna divide 3 from both sides. Okay, so what's gonna happen is always this 3 and that 3 cancel each other out, and you need to do this simple division, which is 15 divided by 3. Let's see, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Awesome. So I'm going to rewrite the equation right down here. x minus 3, close absolute value x minus 3 is equal 5. Done. Okay, now guys, this is the equation that we're gonna solve. See, from this nasty equation above here, could you see that? We reach to this beautiful handy dandy equation. Okay, now have I solved for x? Not yet. No problem. Come back to your cheat sheet and it says, oops, the second step is to make 2 arrows. Okay, let's make 2 arrows. I'm just gonna copy that here. Okay, so I'm gonna make 2 arrows. What color I'm gonna choose? I'm gonna choose my favorite color, pink. Let's do that. I'm joking, my favorite color is green. There you go. I go for one of them is green and one of them is pink. Why not? You know, life is too short. Let's do that. And pink right here. Oops. There you go. Okay, good. So in order to get rid of absolute value, we're gonna make 2 arrows. Okay. So we write the equation once with the positive 5 and once with the negative 5. Good. Now we're gonna solve them. Okay, let's look at the first equation. What number is bothering us? Is x by itself? Absolutely not. So we have to get rid of this minus 3. How are we gonna get rid of minus 3? Very, very good job. You have to add 3, but you have to do it to the both sides. Right here. Awesome. So we're gonna write x. Let's do the calculation together actually. Okay, so here 3 minus 3 and positive 3, they cancel each other out. We would left with just x is equal, and we have 5 and 3 here. See, 5 plus 3. Let's see. What is 5 plus 3? I have no idea. We have to do the calculator. Use a calculator. 5 plus 3. Yes, 8. Okay, so we're gonna write 8 here. Done. Easy peasy, handy dandy. One of the values for x is 8. Okay. So let's come back to the next equation. X minus 3 is equal minus 5. What is bothering us? Minus 3. How are we gonna get rid of minus 3? Very, very good job. Adding 3, the same thing that we did in the equation above, okay? We're gonna get a completely different answer, okay guys? So don't be like, oh, this is 8 here, so the answer of this second equation is minus 8. No, that's a typical mistake, okay? Do not assume something like that. Okay, I'm gonna add this time 3. Let me type it down, maybe it's easier. My awful handwriting. Okay, plus is not gonna bother you guys. Okay, positive 3 and positive 3 to both sides, right? So now we're gonna do a simple calculation. Okay, so of course minus 3 and positive 3, they cancel each other out. See, this and that cancel each other out. On the left side, what I'm gonna left with is x is equal, in this side all we have is minus 5 plus 3. Let's do that. So maybe it's pay extra attention how I'm gonna do this calculation. Some people, they have hard time writing negative numbers in a calculator. Check it out. Minus 5 plus 3. Minus 2. Boom, done. Minus 2. There you go. Very, very good job. Now let's put our answer in a box. You don't have to put in a box that, you know, but in your exam or quiz, if you do that, it makes my life so much easier to see if you got the right answer at the end or not. Check it out, 8 and minus 2. Okay, so guys, all these steps you would get credit out of it. Okay, the very, very last thing I look for is a final answer. To me, is really important to see, did you follow step 1, step 2? Oops, I forgot to write the step 3 again. Step 3, what was the third step? solve solve the equations, right? Let me write it here so you have a comprehensive and complete problem, right? This is the third step. Okay, guys, all these steps you would get point out of it. Okay, the answers are the last thing that I'm looking for. Okay, I look for, did you do the absolute value by itself? Did you try to eliminate those numbers? Did you make two arrows? This is really important. And did you do your best to solve the equation or not? Okay, very good job, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Come back to your Google Doc and you would see several examples that would help you to learn this subject better.